first time from 2012 business climate index surveys our average level um, from 50% to 59%. Um, how do you think about this? And according to you, um, what's the reason of this growth?
The index represents the balance of the opinion of the respondents about the current economic situation and the future economic situation. Vietnam has been experiencing recently a good period of stabilization in its economy with low inflation and ever more stable macroeconomic variables and a amazingly favorable situation in exports because America, Japan, and to some extent Europe are getting out of the crisis. Exports from Vietnam are going very well. The response into the index surely represents in great part this new situation in which there are no worries about the local economy that are overwhelming, and yet there is a very favorable situation in exports. European companies represent at least 20% of exports of Vietnam, and many of our members are exporters, and so there is a bias towards the external sector of Vietnam amongst our respondents. The unanimous or the very high percentage respect to the past truly represents the fact that the situation for Vietnam in exports has improved.
Yes. The second is that negative outlook of this index is 30%. This number is higher than 2% over last year. Um, what are the reasons of this problem?
Not all the problems with Vietnamese economy are resolved. There are still big issues that need to be tackled. The difficult situation of the banks that are still digesting the bad loans and thus are very cautious in the way they do new lending is helping the growth of the Vietnamese economy to be slower than it could otherwise be. The reform of the state-owned enterprises is happening, but at a pace which is the pace of reforms. It doesn't happen in a week or in a month. And while it is happening, the situation can be complicated. People selling to them may not see a short-term increase in their sales. So the people who have a negative outlook are still thinking about short-term adjustments of Vietnamese economy to the improvement. The rest of 2014 will be a year of growth, but of moderate growth, and in some sectors, a key sector for the economy of Vietnam, like real estate, will still be slow, and this is why part of the people are still negative about the outlook for their business.
According to the report, positive business outlook index get 46%. What's the reason of this positive feedback, and will this trend to be continued in the future?
I am sure that this number will continue to increase because month after month, the Vietnamese macroeconomic figures are keeping improving. While we have a stable currency, a balance of payments, a balance of trade, a good situation of inflation, a improving situation of the banks, a stable policy of the government in favor of growth, all of these things in time will achieve positive results for the Vietnamese economy. Meanwhile, 2012 has been a year which has seen also good inflow of new money from abroad. People have not lost confidence in Vietnam. And as new factories come to the market, new business will happen. And so I trust that the future results for our index in this measure of outlook will be increasing over time.
Okay. For 10 bond score, how do you rate Vietnamese business environment gap?
There is a lot to improve. We are certainly in the above 5 level of judgment. The situation is never absolute. It's also compared to other countries. So today, Vietnam is stable, and in this compares favorably to places like Thailand or Cambodia that have had social unrest. So if you are a new investor, you like to come to Vietnam because you know you're going to have stability. On the other hand, still there are sectors that have to be open, especially in food, in pharmaceuticals, in services. And in those terms, the score is again a positive one, but not so high. Vietnam is working hard at improving its situation by signing and taking engagements in the TPP, in the FTA with Europe, in other international agreements, and is working hard at making reforms. All of these are very positive promises in a situation that today is reasonable but can be improved.
Okay. The last question, when you answer this question, you see in the camera. Okay. Do you watch VITV channel?
Sure, I do, and I like it very much. I learn a lot of things from VTV channel, and it keeps me informed about things that are important to my job and to my interest for Vietnam. And I appreciate the fact that it has English, which is the language I'm most comfortable with.
Okay.
Thank you very much.